Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. Robert Downey Jr., better known as Iron Man, is now Dr. Doom. Now, if you do not know anything about the Marvel Universe, I'm here to let you know Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man. Spoiler alert, even though this is maybe 5-6 years old now, the man died in the movie. All right, he died in the Avengers film, and I think it was the last Avengers film. He died. So how can it be that he's back in the Marvel Universe as some other character?
Rich.
What's your take on it, buddy?
Let me be honest with you. I can't really see him being anybody else but Tony Stark. Let's be honest. He might have died with Iron Man because of the action that he put forth as the Iron Man, as being Tony Stark. The atmosphere, the character itself, he brought it to life. You know, being super smart, a little arrogant, very confident, and just bringing that character to life, making you feel like he was unbeatable. And for him to come and flip and become Dr. Doom as a villain, it's very not expected. And I feel indifferent to it, because of what it is in this Marvel universe. You could have definitely used somebody else, and we know who that somebody else was set up to be.
Wow. Well, who is that someone else? I don't want to leave a cliffhanger. I think I know, but we'll get there. But
okay, yeah.
Okay, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Shah, do you feel betrayed by this? What are your thoughts on this? What are your feelings on this?
Like, I think it's super weak coming from like just being a fan of Marvel. Period. I love everything. I have a huge imagination, so I'm just let down because you getting Tony Stark. That's what I call him. I don't call him Robert Downey Jr. because he killed. Just like Omari said, Iron Man. So like it was phenomenal with the performance he gave up for that, and I think he went out like a true we're gonna remember that character forever. For you to resurface as a whole other character, and then you're a villain, it's kind of like you're kind of messing up like your whole Marvel legacy, in my opinion. And I just think it's super weak because it's just like, oh yeah, let's get him to do it because he's available, and it's just like I'd rather see y'all just give it back to Jonathan Majors, because it's just like, I mean, they're basically one and the same, like in the sense of having a little trouble, and now it's like, okay, I learned my lesson. Now I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna be right. For all of that, let's just give it back to Jonathan, because it's just like, nah, like I'm not feeling Tony Stark be Dr. Doom. I'm not feeling it.
All right. I will say this. We understand that the multiverse is in play now, right? Understand that thank you, Shah. Understand that the multiverse is in play now. So here are my predictions, and you guys can give your predictions as well. But here is my prediction: is that this is still Tony Stark. He's not another person per se. This is still going to be Tony Stark if he never became Iron Man, but became Dr. Doom instead. Understand that there are that in the multiverse there are different universes. So there's so you are who you are in another universe, but different walks of life and other things have taken place. So this could be another variant of Tony Stark now playing Dr. Doom. And as I've learned that this is something that has taken place in the MCU.
That's definitely thinking outside of the box. And I really appreciate that thought in terms of a comic. That is very interesting. This is a comic about Tony and Doom switching bodies. That Brandon said. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that would be so ill if that is what we're thinking about in terms of thinking outside of the box and thinking in that multiverse. And again, what Shah was just saying, that imagination, that creation of being still that same person, because he is going to act the same. It's not that he's not going to act the same.
Right.
Robert Downey Jr. pretty much is going to be the same person. He's going to be Tony Stark, but as a villain.
I mean,
interesting. Now it gets interesting because I always liked his a-hole side. I'm not gonna lie, it cracked me up every time. I love it. It's just like it's right on time every time.
I think what they do, because this doesn't come out till 2026, excuse me.
Okay,
I think they would do well to have him play a very just play the opposite of what you would see a Tony Stark playing. Very sarcastic, very, cavalier, just doing things in his own way. Like keep all the negative traits and accentuate those as opposed to his endearing traits. So I don't think that they're creating a whole different character. I think that this is a variant which would even add to the emotion of it all, of losing their version of Tony Stark. You know what I mean? And them having to wrestle with, I see Tony, but this isn't our Tony.
Yeah, that makes it way more interesting. Now I'm back intrigued, and now I'm rooting for it.
I'm very intrigued. So
now I'm like, I want to see this.
So now
I don't think it's a Chris Evans thing where he played the Human Torch and is now playing Captain America. I don't think it's that.
Okay.
Oh, y'all ain't know that.
Okay.
Sorry, you didn't know that. That's what happened. Yeah, I don't think it's one of those things. You still,
yeah,
I don't think
call.
It's one of them. I was like, well, how the heck is he doing that? You just want me to forget about the Fantastic Four?
That's exactly what they want you to do.
That's exactly what they. That's
that
that voodoo
exactly
mind.
I don't think this is a Michael B. Jordan playing the Human Torch and then playing T'Challa's cousin. I don't think there's one of them. They just didn't care who played the Human Torch. Oh man, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what are your thoughts on how the other Marvel characters would perceive him?
How the other Marvel characters will see him. I just think that they will look at him as Tony Stark. You know what I mean? I really don't think that this is. I think they'll all wrestle with it in some sort of way. You know what I mean? But I think there'll be some character that says, hey, this isn't Tony. You gotta let it go. This isn't. There'll be some voice of reasoning. Deadpool will never go back to Green Lantern. Yeah. So that's the thing, right? So Deadpool is MCU and Green Lantern is DC. So you can make that crossover, like how Ben Affleck played
Batman.
Exactly. As how he played Daredevil and then played Batman. And yeah. So you can do that. Yeah, but no, I don't think he'll ever go back to Green Lantern, even though they make jokes about it all the time. And even though Ryan Reynolds played some whacked out version of Deadpool and that they've had to fix and rectify over the years with little quips and jokes throughout the years. I have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine. Please don't ruin it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Appreciate it.
Because I never forget when they originally was trying to say that when Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool, when it was the X-Men, I was like, who is it? Who? I was like, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but y'all better pull it together.
And they had to revamp the whole thing. So speaking about revamping and putting things back together, Jonathan Major's heart is broken due to the news of hearing that Robert Downey Jr. is he's taking the place of Kang. what are you guys' thoughts in that regard?
It should be. You lost a part that you was really looking forward to playing, like rightfully so.
Okay.
Like that's a natural reaction now. Like diving in on a more serious note, I think it's more so of a thing of reflection. I think a part of him sees himself in him, like, how come he gets to do it and I don't? And it's just like only answer I have for you is that yours is just way too recent, it's way too fresh. Like his
Yes.
is dated back and he's had time to basically
Reconcile.
yeah, and he's done a lot of things to basically make us almost forget who he was prior to these parts. So unfortunately, Jonathan, you're gonna have to put in some work and do a lot of movies, and you're gonna
Right.
have to act your butt off for
Right.
us to forget this whole situation
Right.
until like you get into the space of being able to say that's a thing of the past. Unfortunately,
Right.
I mean, y'all all go through it. Chris Brown went through it. Robert Downey Jr. Now you, unfortunately. So,
Right.
yeah, this should hurt. It should hurt. Like I expect it to hurt because I'm sure you had big plans on what you was going to do. You probably even had read the script. And for it to
Mhm.
just come down to just it's a no. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna
Yeah.
hurt. It's so.
I also think that you raise good points. I just want to add something to the points that you're making. So in tandem with that, the things that Robert Downey Jr. did, he did to himself. Um, these are things that you did to another person. You know what I mean? So that's going to look a little bit different. And like you
Mhm.
said, but I think the more operative point
Yeah.
is that he had
Allegedly.
that, huh?
I said we have to kind of throw in there allegedly because he fought tooth and nail to say he didn't do certain
We
things.
don't have to add
So,
allegedly. He been convicted.
all right,
That's what, like, I was about to, and I was like, nah, he been tried and convicted, sentenced the whole nine. So it's no longer alleged. You know what I mean? You can have we can all have our own opinions, but in the court of law, he was convicted. And as soon as he was convicted, Marvel snatched that role from him. So we're gonna roll with that. You know what I mean? Now my thoughts on whether it should have been that severe or whatever, like, because he did try to run away and all of that type of stuff. I feel for him. He saw his career flash before his eyes in that moment. Um, I think in his heart of hearts, he did what he could have done in that moment. You know what I mean? But when you black and you dealing with a white woman, you know what I mean, and not to be that guy, you know what I mean, but like all bets are kind of off in that regard. It always has been like that, you know what I mean? And that's the downside of that. Yes. Oh, I see. I know you might be chomping off at the bit right there.
Oh no, I didn't have any tidbits. I totally agree with everything y'all were saying. I was just listening in like a fly on the wall, and I think you guys touched on a bunch of topics that I definitely agree with. I think you went full circle with that. And
Yeah.
about him not getting the role, definitely, it's something that you will feel as though. And I like the fact that Sharice. Let me just say this: that she said what he did is recent, so there
Yes.
has to be some type of repercussion for what has happened, right? And you have to be able to own up to it. Not just you have to understand that there's another dynamic to what happens to you when things happen. And so it's not just, oh yeah, you got convicted, but there's other caveats where other people see you in a different light. And you have to be able to take the consequence of that as well. Unfortunately. So there you have to get back to a good grace period for your fans, your loved ones, and things of that nature.
Right.
And that's just something that you're going to have to work through. We wish you the best, during that time of your transition into a better lifestyle and things of that nature. But this is just something that you have to learn from and grow from. And that's just what it is.
Right. Well said. I think here's what I think about, because I was feeling for him for a while, but then other things started coming out. So like when it's kind of triggered something in me when Omari said lifestyle change and stuff like that. I'm like, it's a one time No, it's not.
Mm.
No, it's not. This more recently, because I was wondering why Lovecraft Country wasn't coming back. Like when, like, you know, the first season, I thought the show was amazing. I love Journey Smollett. You know what I mean? I thought that the show did well. Like they were winning tons of awards and stuff like that. HBO and people were watching. And for HBO just to say, nope, we're good. That makes you know what I mean? That's things that make you go, You know what I'm saying? And so when you hear about these things, and then you hear, you know, castmates and crew members saying, "Hey, he treated people this way. Hey, this and that. He was acting weird on set." Da 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 da. You start to see and you start to realize, and then yeah, you do resolve to, hey, hopefully this shows you something, give you a little pow pow. You know what I mean? Like a 1 year probation sort of situation. Yeah, you lost that movie. Yeah, your rise was, you know, you had this climactic rise to fame and all of this type of stuff, but was it well deserved because of the type of person that you are? You know what I mean? The taller they are, the bigger they fall. And as he may be heartbroken and all of that type of stuff, you got to stop leaving a trail of tears. You know what I mean? And that's just the fact of the matter in that regard. So moving on.